Hello! Welcome to another episode of Barbarians Only. We just recently unlocked the Cannoneer, and just today, actually, we raised it to level 11, which is close enough to get us to be able to use it on the Path of Legends. And as the season has just reset, at least fairly recently, we thought we might give a try to play with the Cannoneer this season, maybe, or at least try it out a few times. We have played a few games with it, of course. We are very interested to see what kind of differences it will make for Barbarians Only. In the games I have played with it, we have noticed already that swarms of enemies are disproportionately powerful against the Cannoneer, compared to how large enemies are powerful against a princess. It really does feel like, if they have like 5 enemy units, the Cannoneer is going to get overwhelmed almost immediately. The Barbarian Barrel plus Mere Barbarian Barrel will kill a skeleton, a bomber skeleton, or wall breakers, sorry. And it does put 2 barbarians on the field, so they could have helped with that miner, had the enemy line that up. Oh no, that is... Okay, great. Well, Evolved Firecracker is going to be a problem. In our games with the Cannoneer so far, we've already started to think maybe our deck should have a slight variant, because we are a little bit weaker to masses of units. And one thing I was possibly thinking is maybe Earthquake could be a good solution, as that would also allow us a little bit more offensive potential against things like this. We're going to try to preempt a Firecracker there, but not getting it. That's alright. The Skeleton King is a bit scary because of our Cannoneer, so we will need to use a few more spells than maybe we otherwise would. 2 for 1 Firecrackers. That always makes you feel good. We are in a bit of a lead here, and we've got some barbers coming across, so we might support that with a spell. We're thinking about it. I think we're going to do it, because if we do this right now, we should be able to get this ram across the bridge, just as that times out, I believe. And if we support that with barbs in the front, and we'll go with the freeze behind that. Oh wow, he is quick. But we are going to get so many barbs on top of this tower. And I also just recently got that emote, which I think is fantastic. So good game there. As the season has reset, it put me all the way back at Challenger 1. I think I'm in Challenger 2 now, because I have played a few games here and there. Kind of disappointing, because actually at the end of last season, although I didn't make any videos really at the end of it, I ended up getting into about halfway through Master 2. And I thought I would be able to get back a little bit farther with the boost, but it didn't take me very far, so. We've seen a lot more usage of bats recently. I'm not sure if that's because of the evolution or what, but definitely it's a noticeable increase. Looking at our hand right now, we don't really have anything that's amazing if he puts down a fast-acting attack. So we gotta put down the ram there. We're kind of feeling a bit bold, so we're gonna tank the tit from the P.E.K.K.A. onto the hut. Unfortunately, then it gets pushed and kills all the barbs. We were hoping that the barbarians would spawn and we get 4 and kill the P.E.K.K.A. Not quite working out there, so we're gonna go -2 for that, but that's fine. Here we need to save, and it's tough, but you need to do it. the cannoneer potentially reducing the amount of damage we took there. Not quite sure on how it works out quite yet. Because our barbarians are evolved, we don't need to assist them with rage. And if we assist them instead with a freeze. Yeah, see, even here, like 3 units. Luckily our king tower is activated. We're going to lure this over to the left. Nice move with the Hog Rider. Oh, but we are going to connect with tower. Very nice stuff. We're going to kill that with the rage. We can bait that over to the right. Now here's an interaction I'm very interested to see. How much better or worse Cannoneer performs in this exact situation. Are we going to get more damage off on this Mega Knight or less? I'm not quite sure. It seemed to be pretty good. So we're going to try to hit with an arrows if he puts down anything over here. We do want to wait for the firecracker though, so we might have to put down something in order to bait that out. I'm going to put down the barbs in the middle here. See if he puts it down. He does not have the evolved form right now, so we should have no worries for that. Oh wow, it already gets the hit off. That's quite fast acting. We put down pressure on the other lane just to keep him honest. We can't have him going completely onto one lane defending. So he'll probably be able to stop our Barbarians and mount an attack that we can't quite counter. So here again, we're using the freeze a little bit more liberally than we would if we had the Princess Tower. Going for it on the bats because the Cannoneer is not going to be able to handle that very well. What we'd like to do here is a double ram timing attack. And this time we put the normal ram far back and this one up here because we're going to do a barb barrel early. And we're actually going to be saving for a freeze. So that we can get that like that. And boom, right in there. Thankfully we got the mini P.E.K.K.A, but even if we hadn't, in that situation the mini P.E.K.K.A would not have broken the ram. Because the tower didn't hit the ram at all. So we would have still got it even if we didn't get that. But that was pretty fortunate right there. A lot of these games I'm going to have to look back on probably and like watch the replays and really see how the interactions play out. I'm very, very interested in the Cannoneer, and I'm also very interested in any kind of other tower cards they make. It's a lot of fun to theorize about what could possibly be. Now this is a cool interaction. Is this baby dragon going to get 80 damage? Wow. Cool stuff. I do know that the Mega Minion, if completely ignored, does not make it to tower, which is pretty neat. I'm also wondering about the strength. Oh wow, kills Bomber Scully in one hit. That's quite satisfying. Oh man, that means we don't have to use a barb barrel on that. Wow, very interesting. This is a pretty, honestly, and maybe it sounds cheesy from a barbarian, but this is a pretty cool time in the game where they're really experimenting with a lot of very powerful things. The new addition most recently was Tesla Evolved and Zap Evolved. We're actually quite interested in potentially using Zap Evolved, and with some of the weaknesses we've seen of the Cannoneer here, maybe that would actually fit quite well. We've also toyed with the idea in general of using Fireball because Evolved Firecracker would die to that. So we're not quite sure, but it's an interesting time. I'm liking it. Now one thing Evolved Barbarians don't like is spells. It makes them sad. So we're going to use some of those. We do have to wait. Oh no, and the witch is... this tower might actually go down. This is a little bit hard to deal with. Maybe I was a little bit too aggressive there with the spells. Should have respected the golem a bit more. We'll have to get some counter damage here to take out a tower, but you can see maybe the Cannoneer here. One thing that I'm thinking is that in this situation where we have the King Tower and the Cannoneer, potentially that's actually better than a princess tower and a king tower. And that might mean that once we get into a situation here, where we can... Oh wow, really nice bomb and spelling placement. I think he's going to get us. I don't think we're going to be able to sneak it out. But this is a pretty good game. I should have respected that first goal a bit more. See if we can get a tower. I don't know if it's going to let us. No, he's a meanie. He doesn't let us get it. We'll give him some bubble gum. That was a pretty cool game. I don't have the Cannoneer evolved or leveled up to the maximum level that I could. So potentially, you know, it's not doing as much damage as it would be. But it's really interesting to see the different interactions. One of the ones that I was playing with earlier is if a wizard is crossing the bridge and you put a barb ram on the other lane, but in the middle, so that the wizard would target it, but then the barb ram runs away, then the Cannoneer actually kills the wizard in 2 hits. I think that exact identical situation using a Princess Tower results in the wizard hitting the tower once, I think. But those are the kind of things that I'm going to have to watch some replays and play around with it and really start paying attention to compare the different situations. So it's a lot of fun. And considering it's barbarians only, and the Princess Tower, obviously a princess is not a barbarian, and so that is a thing within the game that we don't have any control over. Barbarians only, I feel, you could use any tower because of that. Potentially, maybe if there was a barbarian tower, then maybe that rule might change, but at least for now, between Princess or Cannoneer, I feel like either is valid for a barbarians only deck. So we're really excited to try it out. If you want to try it out too, please let me know how it goes. I'm really interested to hear how some, competitive matches go with your barbarians. And if you liked watching this, thanks for watching, and have a great night. Thank you.